two, one. Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead and stop you guys real quick. We're gonna get more time to talk in our panel that we're going to do. But thank you guys, the leaders and everyone. They can. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not doing anything right now. Just leading. A circle around that thing. Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get in a circle around. Let's get in a circle around the room. Just find a spot around the room. It's okay. We're gonna get in a circle around the room. Just find a spot around the room. Tugiye gukora ikizenguruko hano, circle. So umuntu wese ashake a corner. Let's get in a circle. Yeah, just find a corner. It's far. The circle is too big. No chairs. No chairs, guys. Just leave the chairs where they are. We're gonna be standing. Make a circle around here. So from here to there. If everybody can come this way, we can make a circle around here. Dukore cercle around here. You guys are not in a circle. Go in the corner. Yeah. You guys go in the circle. Yeah. Okay. A circle here and around the camera. So circle starts there. Yes. Like where this lady is. Yeah, just make a round circle. Guys that are sitting, Salama, let's get in a circle, ma'am. Yeah. Mutata nega, you need make a circle. Yes. Yeah, you can stand here, a circle here. Yeah, everyone. Yeah, you can. Guys in the back, yeah, come in.
Okay, let's get in the circle. We're about to finish. We're going to do an exercise, and then after the exercise, we have a panel, a short panel, and we're gonna go home. So the quicker we do this, the quicker we get to finish this. So let's make a perfect circle. Mukore kizunguruko. Angelique, there's the other microphone over there. Please, or you. Let's all get in the perfect circle. Get close. Get close to each other. Let's all get in a circle, please. Let's fill up this gap right here. Let's get in a circle. Okay, this is good. Can you guys make room? Okay. The only people who are now stand up is. Okay, if we can all stand up. Okay, we're going to do this is an exercise. Okay, but there's people online. Yes. Okay, we're going to do an exercise
Tugiye gukora exercise.
because most of you guys already, who can tell me one thing that they've learned in their workshops?
Ninde ushobora kutubwira ikintu kimwe yize muri iyi workshop tumaze gukora?
We learned not to judge our parents from their past. They will never understand us because we're living into a different world that they're not used to. So we have to study our parents just the same way that they study us. So we have to meet each other in the middle.
Okay.
Anybody else? Who can tell me one thing that they've learned within the workshop?
Hari undi ushobora kutubwira ico bize muri workshop?
Yeah, it's our parents are misunderstood. That's all. Our parents are misunderstood.
Hari bumwe abana batumva abavyeyi babo nkuko abavyeyi babo bifuza ko
What about on the parent side? Who can tell me one thing that they've learned?
ku bavyeyi ninde ushobora kutubwira ikintu kimwe bize?
Ndavuga mu kinyamurenge.
I'm going to say in
Twebwe
Kinyamurenge.
icyo twize nk'ababyeyi
As parents, we've learned
nuko tugomba kumva abana bacu
that we need to understand our children
tukabaheza umwanya
and give them time
kugira ngo babe open to us. Iyo mufite ikibazo nyine tugomba kubaheza umwanya no kubatega amatwi.
so that they can be open to us.
Anybody else have any from the parent?
Hari uwundi?
jewe ndababwira ibyo twize ariko kandi hari n'ikindi cyifuzo nyifuza ku bana.
I'll tell you what I learned, but there's also a wish that I have for our children.
Twize yuko dukwiriye iyi mico yacu twisanzemwo dukwiriye gushaka ukuntu twoyitwaramwo twese ari abana ari twebwe.
We learned that we need to learn how to behave in these two different cultures, parents and children.
Ariko icyo dusaba abana bacu nuko botubera bokuguruka bakatubwira ikibazo baba bafite kugira ngo na umenye kuko uri kumwe n'umwana ufite ikibazo.
But we would like for our children to approach us and be open so they can tell us their problems.
Ntako tuzobagira tuzobigisha nyine dushaka ukuntu tubihuriza hamwe ariko kabisa muzatwumvire mwuguruka mutubwire ikibazo mwahuye naco.
But please be open and we're going to try to work together to teach each other.
Kandi ikindi tuzatubareba gutya abana bacu tukabona bafite ikibazo.
Sometimes you look at your child, you can see they have a problem.
Ariko twababaza ati umeze gute amakubwira ngo ndi fine.
But when you ask them how they are, they say they are fine.
Kandi uhaye umureba ukabona atameze neza.
But you can look at them and see that they're not well.
Please turabinginze muzatubere muzamwuguruka.
So please be more open.
So I'm going to read some questions.
Ngiye gusoma ibibazo.
If these questions applies to you,
Naba kino kibazo ushobora kucisangamo.
I want you to take like 2 steps in the middle.
Nshaka ngo mutere intambwe zibiri imbere.
Okay? The first question is
Kibazo ca mbere.
step in the circle. Step in the circle
Tera intambwe imbere.
if you are from Africa.
Naba uva muri Afrika.
Yeah, step in the circle. Get closer. Get closer. Okay, take a step back.
Mwongere mutere intambwe inyuma.
Take a step forward
Mutere intambwe imbere.
if you are the firstborn in your family.
Naba ari wowe wavutse wa mbere imfura mu muryango wanyu.
Get closer. Get closer. Get closer. If you're the firstborn in the family,
Naba uri imfura mu muryango wanyu,
turn around,
muhindukire,
look at the other people.
urebe abari inyuma.
Okay, step back.
Wongere utere intambwe inyuma.
Step in the circle
Utere intambwe imbere.
if you ever been stressed.
Naba warigera uba stressed.
If you ever been stressed.
Naba warabaye stress, wigeze kugira stress.
Okay, take a step back.
Ngaho dusubire inyuma.
1 step for stress, not 7. Shh. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Take a step forward
Utere intambwe imbere.
if you have lived in a place that if you have ever experienced war.
Naba warigeze kuba ahantu habaye intambara cyangwa mu ntambara.
If you ever experienced war.
naba warabaye ahantu habaye intambara cyangwa wari mu
If you
ntambara
ever experienced war, step forward.
naba warigeze kuba ahantu hari intambara
It's pretty much the parents.
ababyeyi benshi muri
Take
twebwe
a step back.
dusubire inyuma
Step forward.
mwongere mutere intambwe imbere
If you ever struggled with depression,
naba warigeze kugira ikibazo cya depression cyangwa kwiheba
if you ever struggled with depression, take a step forward.
naba waragize ikibazo cyo kwiheba cyangwa depression
This if you ever been diagnosed with depression,
naba muganga yarigeze kukubwira ko ufite depression
take a step forward.
awutere intambwe imbere
If you was ever misunderstood by your parents,
naba ababyeyi bawe batarakumvishe
if you
neza
feel like
nk'uko
you were
ubyifuza.
misunderstood by your parents,
naba ababyeyi bawe batarakumvishe nk'uko wabyifuzaga
okay, take a step back.
twongere dutere intambwe inyuma
Okay. Take a step forward
wongere utere intambwe imbere
if you're ever sad.
naba warigeze kubabara
Take another step forward
utere indi ntambwe imbere
if you ever struggle with loneliness, being alone, if you ever felt alone.
naba warigeze kugira ikibazo cyo kwiyumva kuri wenyine
Get closer. If you ever felt alone, get closer.
naba wari wagera ahantu wiyumva kuri wenyine
Get closer.
mukomeze mwigire imbere
Get closer. Hey, guys, this is serious. Okay? This is serious. It's not a joke. Okay? This is a very serious exercise. All right? You see that we got parents, we got young adults, we got youth in the circle.
dufite ababyeyi hano dufite n'abajene
I know it might be uncomfortable for some of the youth because your parents are here
ndabizi ko bamwe mwaba mufite isoni kubera ababyeyi
or
banyu
because
bari
your
aha
community is here.
cyangwa se kubera ko bene wanyu bari hano
But if you are stepping forward in your mind,
ariko naba mu bitekerezo byawe uri gutera intambwe imbere
you're being acknowledged.
uri kumenyekanisha ibyakubayeho cyangwa biri kukubaho
Thank you. You guys can step back.
murashobora gusubira inyuma
Take a step forward
utere intambwe imbere
if you ever lost a loved one.
naba warigeze kubura umukunzi wawe cyangwa se umuntu wa famiye
If you ever lost a family member
umuvandimwe
or a friend,
naba warigeze kubura umuvandimwe cyangwa inshuti yawe
okay, you can step a step back.
ashobora gusubira inyuma
Step forward
utere intambwe imbere
if you yourself if you ever were shot
naba warigeze kuraswa
or stabbed.
cyangwa gucumitwa icumu
If you
cyangwa
ever
imbugita.
shot, step in a circle.
naba wararashwe
Okay. If you were ever been stabbed as well, you can step in the circle.
naba warigeze gucumitwa imbugita cyangwa se ikindi kintu
You can take a step back.
murashobora gusubira inyuma
Step forward if you struggle with an actual health disorder, like an actual health illness.
utere intambwe imbere naba hari indwara umaranye igihe
Maybe if you have diabetes, cancer, or things like that.
naba ari indwara nka diyabete cyangwa se
Autoimmune
kanseri
disease. Okay. Thank you. You can take a step back.
murashobora gusubira inyuma
Take a step forward
mutere indi ntambwe imbere
if this workshop and this event helped something in your life. today.
Naba iki gikorwa twakoze uno munsi cakugiriye akamaro.
The whole point of this exercise is this.
Impamvu y'iyi exercise ni iyi.
And the main reason why it's really hard for Africans or our people,
N'impamvu ibintu biremereye cyane ku bantu
this
bacu.
exercise is hard.
Iyi exercise ari ikintu kiremereye cyane ku
It's
bantu
because
bacu.
exactly the main point for this conference.
Ni intego nyine yatuzanye kuri uno munsi.
You guys can be honest
Murashobora kuba abanyakuri.
within yourself first.
Murashobora kuba abanyakuri kuri mwebwe mwenyine.
You cannot be, I named a whole bunch of different things. And some of you guys were thinking in your head, "Oop, I'm going to stay, but I couldn't.
Ndabizi ko hari bamwe muri twebwe bari baza batekereza gutera intambwe imbere ariko ntibayitere.
You are dealing with something.
Rero hari ikintu ufite muri wowe,
You are struggling with something.
hari ikibazo ufite muri wowe.
Let's start a conversation.
So reka dutangire ikiganiro.
The other thing of this exercise is this.
Iyindi mpamvu y'iyi exercise ni iyi.
You guys saw a mother, a dad, a youth, and a child step forward at one point.
Hari igihe mwigeze kubona umubyeyi n'abana biwe bose batera intambwe imbere icarimwe.
Various different people stepping in a circle.
Mwabonye umubyeyi, mubona umwana, abantu batandukanye batera intambwe imbere icarimwe.
This signifies
Ibi bisigura
that the problem that you deal with,
ko ikibazo waba ufite,
the stress that you're dealing with,
stress waba ufite,
what's in your head,
ibintu biri mu mutwe wawe,
your parents are going through the same thing.
n'ababyeyi bawe baba bari ahura n'ibyo bibazo.
They also have their own things that they're going through.
Nabo bafite ibindi byabo bari guhura nabyo.
So don't think that they can't understand.
Rero ntutekereze ko ababyeyi batashobora
They've
kukumva.
been where you are. They were young ones.
Nabo bigeze kuba bato nkamwe.
Yeah, they were younger, so you can honestly talk to them.
So rero urashobora kubaganiriza.
And parents as well. You guys saw your kids stepping in the front.
N'ababyeyi mwabonanye abana banyu batera intambwe imbere.
So let's start a conversation.
So reka dutangure ikiganiro.
Thank you so much. Let's get back in our seats, and we're going to welcome our panels.
Murakoze cyane, twese turashobora kwicara nk'indi minota 5
We're
kugira
going
ngo
to
twumve.
our panels, and
our
then we're
panelists.
going to, Angelique's going to tell us what's next.
Niturangiza kumva aba panelist, ubwo turaza gusoza ikiganiro cacu cy'uyu munsi. So rero aba panelist bacu mwatambuka imbere. So uyu ni umwanya mwiza, naba hari ikibazo mufite kubaza, if there's any question that you have, this is a good time to ask those burning questions. Hello, hello. All right, so if we can go ahead and have the panelists introduce themselves just one more time for us. We can start with Pastor Eme.
Yeah, as many of you know, I'm Eme Amani. I'm a pastor at a church in Dallas called Impact Mission Church, where I serve as a associate pastor to my husband, who's the senior pastor. I'm a mother of 4 boys and 2 girls. I work in clinical research, in a pharmaceutical company. So we sponsor clinical trials and so on. That's my Monday to Friday.
9 to 5.
8 to 5, Monday to Friday job, and then Saturday night to Sunday night is church affairs. But among all those, I try to make time for my kids.
Thank you so much, Pastor Eme.
My name is actually Olivier. I'm the community leader here in Austin. Besides that, I'm also Christian. That's it, I think. So I don't have too much background, like, or maybe experience, but that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Jojo. I'm married with one husband,
Yes, we
And
love that.
one baby on the way. I am an engineering tech, but I did study general psychology, and that's all.
My name is Espoir Nindeba. I hold many different titles,
Yes, you do.
but the title that matters right now the most is I'm the founder and president of Cure for Action.
Let's clap for that, guys. Isn't that incredible?
That's
Such a young man doing so much wonderful things.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're so very proud of you. So, Mnganya, this is a great time. If you have any questions that you would like to ask them in regards to everything that we talked about today, or even, the job that they do, And I like to come to conferences because this is also a great time to network. You know what I'm saying? So Pastor Amani sounds very resourceful. Like, she's a whole clinical research person. So if you are, I know some of us are like in health, public health, or want to be nurses. She's a great resource. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask her about, anything, please feel free to do so. So mwanya mwiza nawe ufite ikibazo ushobora kubabaza hejuru y'ibyo bakora cyangwa se ibiganiro twagiranye uyu munsi, uyu ni umwanya mwiza wo kubibaza. Turaguheza Mike. Yes.
Ikibazo ngiye kubaza ni umuntu wambwiye ngo nkimubarize, yasohotse. Yambwiye ngo nkibaze either Olivier ngo cyangwa mama Pastor. Icambere ngo kuko azi yuko mwembi mama Pastor are involved in the church na papa Olivier are involved mu muhana. Yambwiye ngo mubarize iki kibazo nimba mwagisubiza mu nzira zibiri. Yambwiye ngo arareba live ngo nimba nyakibajije. Yabajije ngo se uko ibi biganiro ari byiza kandi bifasha community nka Olivier ari kuyobora na community nawe uri kuyobora yikanisa, ntese kubera iki ibi bintu icambere yamaje ngo muri church kubera iki mutagira umwanya wabyo, atari ukuvuga ngo nabandi bantu bo hanze cyangwa undi muntu gusuturutse hanze ubizana bikaba nka gutya, mbese ikaba like another session ya church. Iryo ni ijambo ya mbere yambajije kuba pasiteri ku bantu bakora muri community. Ariko ndetse mu migambi n'imigabo y'imihana mutura mukora, uretse kuvuga ngo twakiriye igiterane kivuye ahandi cyangwa hari igikorwa kivuye ahandi cyakorewe mu muhana wawe, ndetse woba ufite plans zo gukomeza ibiganiro nk'ibi? Murakoze.
So the question goes, why are we not having the same conversations in our African churches?
Okay, let me start. Actually, I will talk as the community leader here in Austin.
Umuntu uyoboye community hano muri Austin.
Really, this event is important for either the parents or the kids.
Iyi event ni ikintu cy'ingenzi ku bana no ku babyeyi.
I was talking to Pastor.
Nariko nganira na pastor.
That's in our countries or maybe back home.
Mu bihugu byacu aho duturuka.
The issues related to mental health.
Ikibazo cy'ibintu bijanye na mental health.
Actually, are not open to be discussed. That's our culture.
Ntago ari ikintu abantu baganiraho.
And really, it's an issue to be discussed by both parents and kids.
Ni ikibazo ababyeyi n'abana bagomba kuganiraho.
Because these issues affect all of us.
kubera icyo kibazo kiratureba twese.
So, as maybe the plan, we're gonna try to see how we can have much events, more events that will just put together all the parents and the kids to discuss on some of the issues that we are facing in our families.
Nk'abayobozi b'umuhana tuzogerageza kugira amagahunda nk'aya ngaya kugira ngo dushobore guhuza ababyeyi n'abana mu biganiro nk'ibi.
I remember, I think it's last year where we had a youth conference.
Umwaka ushize twagize conference y'abajene.
You remember we invited different speakers.
Twatumiye abatuganiriza batandukanye.
Dr. Faraja was here.
Dr. Faraja yari ari hano.
She was just telling us about how kids you can just be focused on school.
Yari kwatubwira hejuru yuko abana bashobora kwiga.
So what we're gonna do, actually, Nindeba for now is the youth leader here in our community.
Ubu nyine Nindeba ni umuntu umwe uyoboye abajene hano muri iyi community.
So we're gonna work together.
So tuzakorana hamwe.
So that we can maybe organize different events.
Kugira ngo tuzo organize ama event agiye atandukana.
Just to talk about different issues that we are facing day to day.
Kugira ngo tuvuge hejuru y'ibibazo bigiye bitandukana tugira muri community yacu.
And I know parents maybe they will just understand time to time. They understand.
Ndabizi ko ababyeyi bazabyumva umunsi ku wundi.
You see, parents here we are just few.
Nkuko mubibona hano ababyeyi bari hano ni bake.
But we also supposed to be to come many here actually.
Ariko bakagombye kuza ari benshi.
But maybe we hope we're gonna do kind of sensitization or mobilization.
Ariko twagerageza gukangurira abantu ubutaha.
In our churches.
Mu mashengero yacu.
Just to tell them just to come and then participate in this kind of events.
Tubabwire tubashishikarize kuza muri ibi biganiro.
Thank you very much.
Murakoze cyane.
Yeah, I think the other one thing I can add is that in churches, these are addressed, but maybe in a different form.
Ndashobora kubabwira ko mu rusengero tubiganiraho ariko mu bundi buryo butandukanye.
Depending of the audience or depending on the member that make your church, it can be one group of same origin or it can be people from different origin. So the message may not look as it is looking somewhere or somehow here because it's again a population maybe that is diverse.
Bivanye n'urusengero murimo rero n'ibiganiro biza bigenda bijana n'abantu bari mu rusengero.
But I can say that some of these conversations fall under parenting, teaching, where they encourage families to communicate, which is almost the same subject we spoke about here. So there is room for improvement. There is room to add more of these conversation and more of this event. But let's not just focus on the fact that church do not do this. People like Nindeba is a child of a church. He's a child of the community. Is everything. So let's more think about when these events are there. Can we try our best to be present and attend them? And but again, as I said, there is rooms for us to improve or programs that we have already in churches. We can try to make them address some of the issues that we learned about. So, for example, our Impact, we have started a conference, a yearly conference for youth and young adults that is called Reset. Some of you attended it this year, and we have another one next year. So these will be like platform where for youth, they will express their feeling. And I think one other place that church may be doing this, but in a way that is not very visible, is that church creates community. So once you have a community, we might not speak about these problems, but it's a place where you can socialize and connect with others and get to have someone you can speak to. So know that a church, not just about yes, we go there to learn and to learn about God and to grow as a community, but also know it's a community for you to have a friend, to have a brother, to have a sister. So we can nurture more of that as well in our churches, where we create an environment where people feel at home and they can address themselves. But definitely there is room for growth and improvement in our programs.
urakoze cyane. So yari ari kuvuga ko urusengero rurashobora gukora uko rushoboye, ariko ibi biganiro bireba cyane ababyeyi. Ni nkako urakoze cyane. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, do we have another question? Yes, Salama has a question.
Hi, I don't have a question. I work with immigrants, so day to day I get to interact with people from different demographic, especially East African, West African, Africa in general. And conversations about mental health is still considered a taboo. It's not a norm, as you will find it in America. And I think if churches would start the conversation and say that this thing is not a taboo, the first thing as a young person, if you say, I'm having a mental crisis, I'm going through depression, the first thing they'll say, turabisengera. Or they'll say, let's pray about it. Yes, let's pray about it, but let's also talk about it. Talking about it helps you come up with solution. As a young woman, I would love to speak to my parents, which thankfully I can, but not every child can sit with their parents and have conversations like this. So I would love, as a member of the community, to see conversations like this become a norm, whereby young people are free and open to speaking about these things, because yes, we acknowledge that our parents didn't have the life that we have right now, and we cannot blame them for not saying things that they don't know. You can ask somebody something that they are not familiar with. So as young people, like, we can educate our parents, but also be open for them to educate us and find a common ground, like somebody said earlier. And I would like to applaud Nindewa for even creating this moment, and for his dedication to his project that has brought this amount of people in one room and speak about something that we don't usually find. And I can speak from experience. Conversations like this are not held in professional settings, in community. We young people do have this conversation among ourselves, but we don't have them with our parents. And I would love to see that change, and this is the beginning of change. And yeah, very thankful for all the panels. Thank you guys so much, and we appreciate you guys, and we appreciate all the parents that were able to make it. And yeah, thank you so much.
Yavuze ashaka kudushishikariza ko ibiganiro nk'ibi byakomeza, avuga ko ibiganiro ubundi muri community yacu ibiganiro nk'ibi atari ibintu bisanzwe, ariko yifuzaga ko byokomeza bigakomeza mu mago yacu, muri community yacu no mu mashengero yacu. Katwumve Aline nawe n'ikibazo.
Also acknowledging what Salama just said, we give appreciation for Nindewa for holding this event. It's very important for the youth. Mostly, I'm gonna say something that's towards what Salama just said. Us having African parents is not that we're lacking or we are more of ungrateful that we have African parents. We're very proud. But what we also wish for the community to help us with, it's more of us growing here in America. We're growing emotionally and more open, differently from our African parents. So what we ask the community to do, it's more of focus on the parents and also give them time to express their feelings towards us, because it's more of we're always targeting the young people or the people who grew up in America. Oh, they don't want their culture, they don't understand the African culture. But it's more of who do we have to open up to? So our parents are the sources of us. So we need our parents to be able to succeed in life. They brought us here, and they're basically our roots. So if they're mentally able to express their feelings and be willing to grow, that's gonna also affect their own children to also grow and able to speak up on how they feel in general. Going through education, we go through many different things, but we don't feel like we have the ability to open up to our parents because they haven't been through that path of education. So that's why we need our community to be able to teach our parents to learn those paths, to be able to learn their own children, education-wise, mental-wise, and all that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we just got 2 insights. Let's get 2 more questions, and then
Thank you so much. My name is Ivan Ingavide, and I drove from Texas, Dallas to Austin, Texas. Thank you for having us, and thank you for organizing this. I'm very grateful. I'll now drive 3 hours if this was not important to me, even though I came to support Mama Pastor, but the main goal was for me to support the conversation, because it is very important in our communities, not only African, but also worldwide. I know the conversation is mostly youth, but as parents as well, I just have question, but I also have a little bit of insight, if I may. I think the gap here is that communication and the understanding between parents and the youth. And we are trying to solve this gap. For me, there is this saying, I was privileged to work in the corporate world as well. There was this saying we used to say, help me to help you. If we say, help me to help you, it is, tell me your problem and we can try to solve it together. So for the youth, based on what she's saying, the community, we need to help them. But we don't know the gap that is in the household. Let's not even talk about the churches, the families. I don't know what you're dealing with your parent. I don't know what you're dealing with your child. Let me mix with Kinyarwanda. So kugira ngo je nshobore kugufasha, no muri sales, we got to knock on the doors kugira ngo duselling a product yacu. Sibyo? Rero ubonye yuko mu rugo hari kibazo n'umubyeyi, I ask you younger people, if you really wanting this to be a change, talk to them. Not even pastors, they are in the medical field. I don't have to bring Pastor Kanaka who don't know about mental health. Let's be honest, in the African community, they are starting to learn about this culture as well. But the good thing is, we are fortunate enough that we're starting to have the youth going into medical field. We're having nurses, we're having doctors, we're having counselors in our community. Bariko bagenda mu ishuri kubyiga kugira ngo imiryango yacu ikire tuyubake. In this new system we are in, we're trying to survive and learn. And if you see that gap, call Espoir. He's in the medical field. He has connections. He has counselors. He might contact them. They will come to your house if you need that help. And let's be strategic. You have to be strategic, and you have to be practical. twaguma mu ijambo ry'Imana tugasenga nk'uko babivuze, but there is wisdom and knowledge. That knowledge is not going to come straight from heaven. We have to go learn. We have to go and acquire that knowledge. So then we have to be practical and we have to be strategic as we're reaching this family. We have to knock on those doors. We have to make phone calls. We have to organize the one-on-ones. We have to do all those counseling sections. This is just my insight. And my question is, have you thought about those ideas or how, you want to continue doing this? Not only mental health, but also medical field and physically, like sports, how to be healthy, all those kind of stuff. Thank you. I tried.
Thank you so much for the question and for the insight. Yes, this is something that whenever we were planning this on paper, this is a 10-year, 20-year thing. It's a long race. It's not a quick race. So it's not something that we're just gonna sprint and finish. It's something that's literally going to take, what's the saying, a village, right? And what does that look like? I need to first, before I go tell my father what I'm dealing with, right? Like you said, help me help you, right? So in the sense of like, if I go to him with my problems, he doesn't understand mental health. He doesn't understand any of that. So the problem had to start with the root, right? Understanding where he's from, understanding how his mind works, right? Understanding how the youth mind works, how my mind works. So that way, whenever I bring this problem for him to help me help myself, he knows he has the tools to lead me to that. But a lot of the times what's happening is the kids, we can see that our parents don't have any tools. So there's no need to go to them. But the quickest tool that they can find is something that's fixed, so drugs and stuff like that, right? So that's why it's easier, because it's accessible to them. When their own thing that's accessible to them is their parents and they live in the same house, and they can see that. So for sure, this is something that we see in the long run. We have thought about many different programs. We want to actually partner up with different doctors, right? Different educators, different individual leaders, to truly see this is going to take everybody to be on the same page for this thing to work. Thank you.
Just to add on what everybody just said, a little bit of a summary. As youth, I'm gonna consider myself a youth. As youth, we tend to forget that our parents are already doing their job according to what they know. If my mom came in the US and my dad came in the US and they're working nonstop full time, and that is the reason why they can see us and they can give us enough time that we require. To them, they're already doing their job as parents. They're providing for us. That's what they know. And so when your parents are asking you, when they see that you're not doing well and they're like, are you okay? That's, to them, they already extended that time for you to now share what you're feeling, what your feelings are. But I think, as speaking as a youth, when you're about to tell them, oh, this and this and this is going on, it's like you are putting more burden on them, and they're already dealing with a lot of things. So we tend to say, oh, I'm okay. And then you go upstairs, you go watch Netflix or whatever you want to watch, because you just don't want to burden them with whatever you're dealing with. But instead of us sitting here and saying that we want our parents to talk to us, to be open to us so we can share to them, can we think of how can we as youth open that conversation with our parents? Because this is not something that they're used to. They're not used to, they don't even know how to start the conversation. But since we want them to do that, can we be the first ones to extend that hand and be like, even if when you see your mom that is not feeling well, we've seen there's a lot of stuff going on back home that we see our parents are dealing with. Ariko bamara kurira bikama bishirira aho ngaho ntunababaze ngo se wapfuye ninde cyangwe kurumva umeze gute. We see our parents that are sad and they cry and then tukabirekera aho ngaho ibo ntago bari kuba affected. they are being affected. And this is one way we can extend our hand and be like, ma, umeze gut. When your mother tells you, I'm sad, iwe nichazi gusa. Iwazi ko ababaye, but kwebwe tuziko, uko kubabara, tubifitiye irindi zina. That's what they taught us here in the USA. Every single emotion or feeling you have, we have a name for it. They're depressed. They have anxiety. They have this and
Jojo,
this and this. Sorry.
I have thank you so much. But I have a follow-up question to what we've been talking about the communication, the gap, the barrier. What advice do you give to a young person who feels like when they try to communicate with their parent, they're not really connecting? Like what is the best way to go about it? Like how can you advise someone to go about starting that conversation when they feel like they're not going to be heard anyways?
I think I'm going to speak on my experience with my parents. I remember one thing a long time ago. Like I was in high school, and I used to play soccer and run track, and never did I ever once saw my dad or my mom come to my track meets or my soccer games. Did that hurt me? Yes, it did. And I really did want them to come to my games. But I knew they were busy. I know they had work, and I knew this and this. And I used to come home, kabwira papa kambaza, like, how did it go? Mwatsinze? And I'm like, yeah, twatsinze. He'll make a joke about it, but then naje nkamubwira, you weren't there. In my head, I'm thinking, namubwiye kera ntago yarahari. So he's supposed to be there next time, right? But naje gusanga, urabona kujya ababyeyi bacu when they want to tell us something important, bazababwira ngo mumanuke dufite inama downstairs. Cyangwa nshaka ko tuganira downstairs and you think you're in trouble. Personally, I think that's the same way we have to do as kids.
I love that. So
I think it's okay.
Communicate to them the way they
the
also
way they do it,
communicate to
the
you.
way they know how to do it in their language.
Thank you so much.
Ukabahamagara mu nama nyine iri seri, nkakujya nawe bazaguhamagara mu nama iri seri.
I love that. Yeah, one more question, and then we're going to be a very burning question. We're going to have this make it short so that she can also ask her question.
All right, thank you so much. I was going to ask one of the questions, Jojo, but also it's somehow hard, kubera ko in our household, sibyo usanga wenda mom works morning shift, dad works night shift, and it's hard to get both of them in the same room to address the issues that you're having, or even having that space for them to tell you what they need from you. So it's hard. I don't know. I know this country is hard, but it's hard to get them in the same room, even if it's just not the parents, but also siblings. Now we're all grown. We have school, we have jobs. I go to school in the morning, I go to work in the afternoon, so it's hard to get them in one room. If it's in that case, then what do? Because we also want to know what's going on with them and what they're struggling with and how we can help them. But it's hard for them to even have the thought to be open to want to ask. So what can we help as the kids in the home to help you parents understand the system, to help you ask questions if you're struggling with something? How can we do that? And my second question is, maybe I'm going to ask Mama Pastor, and yeah, maybe you're the best person to ask this. For maybe the people that are just now getting married like me, I'm young. I wasn't raised here, but half of my life has been here. But also I want to raise my kids in the future in the culture that I was born into. How can we do that? And how can you maybe bring that community of our parents teaching us the culture so we can know more? Because the more we know, the more we can teach our children. We want to teach them the culture that we know here, but we also want to know their culture back home, what we don't know, so we can raise their grandkids in the environment where they can communicate more and also have that connection, that cultural connection. Thank you.
Let's have, yeah, maybe Pastor Amani and Olivia answer.
Yeah, ichambere ndumva we are all understanding English well, or should I mean Kinyarwanda, or should I do English? English? Okay. So the first question, I think I will add to what she said. What to do when a parent is not making time for you. I would just ask, be patient. Be patient. I would ask to be patient, but to love them as well. Love always brings good fruit around.
She was asking how else can we communicate with them if we're not together in person, because they're always working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ndabishikaho nari
Okay.
mbaje kongera kuco babajije niwe wakibajije actually uburyo iyo umubyeyi umwe iyo ababyeyi batarespondinga what to do. Ico kivuga hejuru ya when they are not present. Whenever there is a will, there is a way. Always, trust me. I've been here in America almost 21 and a half years. I had my kids here. I went to school here. I did everything all together, and I could still find time. Whenever there is a will, there will be a way. You might say it's hard to have dad and mom at the table to talk, but there will always be a parent who's available. And that parent, and not only available, there will always be a parent who's accessible. So even for those who say that, parents do not want to talk, look at your parent. There is always one of them who you can talk to easily. We all have that kind of family members, even our siblings. There are siblings that it's easy to talk to than others. So find out that person in your family. On the side of parent, find the parent who's available. One thing I want to promise you, Papa and Mama, they talk. They talk whether you like it or not. They talk about you guys. So that message will get to whoever needs to hear it. And if you can find them both, you can actually even make that request and say, Mama, I was able to find you only, but please make sure this message gets to Papa as well. Or Papa, make sure it gets to Mama as well. But also, if you want that time to be created where they are both home, you can always find that. I'm sure you can. If you sit down and you look at the schedule of everybody in your household, especially if you still live in the same house, you will find a time. Or you can plan, right? Some of the family, we plan. We say, in 2 weeks, let's all be home on Sunday at 5 p.m. Let's all be at home. And you guys, because you are more prone to be organized, you can start scheduling those things. Even if it can be just you guys meeting, the youth who are here, even if it's just for the siblings, you say, let's make it happen. Even if Papa and Mama don't understand us, let's start to meet every Sunday at 7 p.m. at home. We will eat together. We will have a conversation. Next time, ask your parent. Tell Papa, have you noticed that we meet every Sunday at this time? Can you please, in the next one, be part of us? We just want to be part of, have you around. That, I think I answered that one. The second one about raising kids. Bazavuga ngo inyoni cyangwa ngo utaraganiriye na sekuru tazamenya something. Thank you. So what I'm trying to say is ask. Go ahead, genda ubaze. Icaza mama wawe umubaza ati mama mbwira imico y'ikinyamurenge, mbwira imico y'ikinyarwanda, umudamu yameraga gute, umukobwa yitwaraga gute. Actually, sometimes we are blaming our parents, but we are not also asking them the right questions, right? So ask them why they make those decisions. Umubwira ati mama ko buri gihe iyo nambaye umwenda uhaguruka ugasara ukantombokera, mbwira biva kuki. Kuki utumva imyambarire yanje, nawe umusobanurire. None ico gihe azokubwira ati abakobwa b'iwacu dore uko bambaraga, dore uko basaga, right? So mu kurera abana ushaka kubarerera mu muco nawe utawuzi shaka abantu bawuzi kandi ababyeyi bawe nibo ba mbere udafite umubyeyi wawe ufite shangazi ufite anko icyo kintu bagenda bakibigisha ariko cyane mwe muri laki mwe mumenye ibi biganiro hakiri kare kuko muzabitangirira rugikubita umwana wawe uzamenya kumuganiriza uzamenya kumwitaho unamubwira amateka y'iwanyu uyiga bamwe batuzi murumuna wanje ashatswe n'abantu bino ariko ndagira ngo niwe uzi umuco mwinshi kuturusha twese kubera n'ibitabo byanditswe n'abanyamurenge azagenda abishakisha akabisoma akaba ari utubwira amakuru y'iby'imico ivuga so urumva yarabishakishije bishakishe uzabibona
turabaza ikibazo kimwe niturangiza Olivia araza kugisubiza cyangwa yongera no kuri ibi ngibi bamaze kubaza.
Hi, sorry, njye nkaho naje ntinze but kaho all the questions they asked ariko for me it's not biragoye kuvugisha umuntu wabaye mu mibereho utabayeho for example twese twabaye mu nkambi most of us hariho ababaye muri Congo hariho natwe twadukurira hano nubwo tutavukiye but it's very hard kubwira umuntu like kugirisha umuntu inama mu kintu having experience into basically if you talk to your parents your mom your dad ukavuga ati ndamubaza gutya kuko experience atigeze ayihavinga ari like acknowledging what you're telling them. No, if you're having a problem, it's very hard for them to understand. It's very hard for them to see that you're having a problem. So for me, it's not basically, it's not a question, is that parents need to, they need to understand that the experience they had, Nizonatko we're having is totally different, and they need to try to work with us. So if we're trying to communicate, sorry. If we're trying to communicate, it's not that cyangwa uko twitwara ntago ari uko turi kwitwara nabi ahubwo nuko aho turi ariko ariyo mico wenda twatugenderamo. I don't. So how do we tell them that just because you went through something, it doesn't make us understand that you went through it? You can explain to us, ariko it doesn't make us feel the way you feel about the thing.
No, that's a very good question because iki kibazo hari bumwe nk'ama experiences ababyeyi bacu bagize mu ntambara cyangwa se mu nkambi, so ibo bikaba ari ibintu bibaremereye cyane mu buzima bwabo, cyane cyane nk'iyo bari kudutoza nk'ibitoro nyine n'ibiki ukamusanga ibo byabaremereye, ariko nkatwe nyine turi gukurira ino izo ntambara se tutazibayemo cyangwa izo nkambi tutazibaye je nayibayemo nyine, I'm just talking in general, tutayibayemo, ntugire uburemere bw'ikintu nk'ubwo ababyeyi bawe bafite hejuru y'ibyo bintu. So how do you handle that as well? Olivia arashobora kudusubiza niturangiza turasoza.
Okay, just one thing, let me just add to what they have said. Going to the communication, actually communication is an important thing in our families. So it starts even from husband to wife, and then from parents to kids, to children. So niba umwana ataha avuye ku ishuri akaja mu cyumba hanyuma agatekereza ko ababyeyi bamuhamagara ngo naze abasange hasi, kuko communication ntabwo izagenda neza. Ikibazo dufite cy'abana bacu ubu ngubu nuko muza mukaja mu byumba byanyu. That's an issue. Seriously. That's a big issue. Yabivuze ko umwana utaganira n'ababyeyi be ntamenye icyo sekuru yasize avuze. No, ni gute umubyeyi wawe azagusanga mu cyumba waje kukubwira amakuru ya famille yanyu mu cyumba? Niba dushaka communication, reka twese tubigiremo uruhare. ntiyumve communication igomba kuva ku babyeyi gusa, kuko buriya igomba kuva ku babyeyi ikava no ku bana. Niba abana mutisanzura ku babyeyi ukumva kuko ugomba kuza ukajya muri telefone yawe kuri laptop mu cyumba, that's it, ukavamo bukeye bwaho. Abenshi afata n'amasahani yaririyemo ari mu cyumba, donc urira mu cyumba uryamamo nimukora ibintu byose. Ngira ngo aho naho hari ikibazo juste k'urubyiruko tugomba kuganiraho, abana n'ababyeyi. That's one. Ku bijyanye na experience yabajije, ubundi ku bijyanye na experience y'uburere, I'm sure nuko ababyeyi banyu, ababyeyi turabizi, nubwo muvaho ntabwo ababyeyi bafite experience. Numubaza intambara ya Amerika, because of language barrier tazabimenya, ariko mu bijyanye n'uburere busanzwe umubyeyi afite experience. Ntabwo abo ngo umubyeyi ntabwo afite experience ku bijyanye n'uburere, arifite. Wenda afite ikibazo cya communication y'ururimi, ashaka kuba tumva cyangwa atazi kuvuga, ariko mu bijyanye n'uburyo umwana arerwa nubwo bari hano muri Amerika, I think bafitemo knowledge, bafitemo iyo experience, barayifite kuko ni ababyeyi. Icya mbere bararusha imyaka, icya kabiri barabakunze, icya gatatu barabifuriza ibyiza.
Thank you so much.
Ntabwo ushobora kuvuga ngo umubyeyi ngo nta experience afite. Experience iyo atazi niyo uburyo Amerika yafashwe, ashobora kuba afite experience wenda y'abasenators ba Amerika, ni bande ninde perezida wa Amerika, ashobora kuba ntabyo azi, ariko going mu bijyanye n'uburere nuko yifuza ko umwana agomba kuba ameze, cyangwa se uburyo umwana agomba kuba ameze, umubyeyi yarabizi. Rero niba ari communication, reka twese tubigiremo uruhare, yaba ari abana. Okay, we know isi turimo ifite uko iteye, ariko at least reka twese tugerageze guhuza icyo kintu, yaba ari ababyeyi dushaka ko tugira communication n'abana, namwe abana mubigiremo uruhare. Ikindi kandi niba muzi kuko abana ari mwe dufite muri iki gihugu, mugomba kutugayidinga mu bibazo bimwe na bimwe. Kuki ugenda ukajya mu cyumba cyawe uzi wenda umubyeyi we akeneye wenda ko na telefone umufasha telefone, cyangwa se umureba amafaranga ari kuri account yiwe, hanyuma ngo wagiye mu cyumba wibereye mu cyumba cyawe, and then finally bizagenda gute se? You see, mureke icyo kintu tukibuilding twese hamwe, buri wese amenye uruhare rwe, numenya part yawe mu kubaka family yanyu, umubyeyi nawe akamenya part yiwe, uko byagenda kose bizagenda neza.
Thank you so much.
Can I add one thing?
30
Thank
seconds.
You, Chane, President. To the question, I think you asked that question. I think we should also foster a spirit of empathy and compassion, right? Feel your parent, step into their shoes. After all, when they are trying to make you help those in need, any Christian should understand that serving is number one in the spirit of any culture.
Amen.
Right? It doesn't matter what your background, being there for others. I think the person who asked question is not following. She's in the back. I can see you.
Espe?
You asked the question, Mama. We are trying to answer. Yeah. Yes, so we are trying to say that building a spirit of compassion and empathy is very necessary. You might not understand them, but feel them. Feel where they are coming from. And that's what the youth you are seeking, you are looking for as well, right? You want them to feel you. So it's both ways. It's not one way. It's both ways. Feel your parent when they're especially try to look at someone, she's spending a night and day praying and telling you the news of what's happening in her village, and all. You should really, if you're a real person, you should feel interested and ask your mom, Mama, why are you so overwhelmed with these feelings? What's going on? I want to understand you. How can I help? right?
Thank you so much.
Is it YouTube information that you wanna follow? How can I help? Am I making sense? So we shouldn't be. I'm among you guys. I didn't grow in my community. I didn't grow in my village. But today, I'm more Munyamulenge than anything else. After
Amen to
being a
that.
Christian, I'm a Munyamulenge, and I'm proud Munyamulenge,
Yeah.
right? So why? Because God doesn't take us away from our origins. Every time he spoke to the children of Israel, he reminded them that you have to remind your children of who I am, of where they are from. You have to teach them these things. You have to repeat them. So God is not against our origins. So when you say that you are an American and you try not to understand where you're from, it's not your parents' issue only. It's that you also doesn't want to know. Because if you want to know, the children who wants to know, they find a way to know, one way or
Amen.
the other. And
Thank you so much,
they have
Pastor.
proven it. And
Yeah.
the last thing,
Yes.
not that you are their hands. I want to tap into what he just said. I know we are out of time, but because we have this time, let's share this also. Understand that your parents should not be your burden. They should actually, you should be proud that you can translate for your mother. You should be proud that you can take her to an appointment. You know, today, I don't have time to go help my mom. My kids, they drive to my mom's. They know my mom's needs more than I do. They are like, Mama, do we need to go take Tate to the grocery shopping? Does Tate have any emails that she needs us to read? That's my kids. They didn't grow up in Murenge. They are American 100%, but they have that compassion. They know that their grandma is limited. My mom is all set by so they went beyond. It's not just their parents, they go beyond. And I know if my kids did it, you can do it too. And it's not because I did better parenting. I'm the worst. Right now, my youngest, this one, she's the baby. She's the one I'm trying to correct things that I did wrong on her siblings, older siblings. I'm trying to make it right with her. Like I didn't attend their games, the older ones, but this one I tried a little bit, right? So
Yeah.
I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to show you I wasn't a better parent, but I have kids who are compassionate about the situation. So please understand you are the hands of your parents. You are their feet. You are their strength. Don't take them as a burden. And to the place where you say, I can share with my parents, let me tell you, they might not understand the expression you're using, but there is a way to explain to them. You can say, Mama, ushobora kuba utumva iri jambo nkoresheje ry'uko mpaye numva mfite anxiety, ariko nawe ndazi ko wanyuze mu bintu byagukomereye rimwe mu buzima bwawe. Niki wakoze kugira ngo ico kintu ukirenge? Kizo ntambara mwabayemo ko zinarusha n'ibyo njewe mpaye mbona, because there is no depression that is bigger than walking into bullets, right? So ukamubaza ati mama ni gute wagize ibi bikomere, ni gute wahuye n'ibibazo ariko ukiriho, jewe ko ndahura n'ibibazo birananiye. That's me giving you some tips, right? It might not be that they won't understand your language and your vocabularies, but there is nothing under this sky of America they haven't seen maybe.
Amen.
They have seen the worst. So tell them what you need. If they can't give you an advice, they will tell you a person to go talk to, or they will pray with you. And for them, praying, that's the best they can offer. And if they offer that, receive it. Amen. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I know all of us have a lot of like burning questions, and unfortunately we don't have time to give everybody the mic. But these people are great resources that the conversation does not end here, right? They are resources that you can go and like talk to and have conversations with and let this conversation continue. And so at this time, we're gonna hear Nindeba with some closing remarks, and then we're going to leave. But can we give a hand for our panelists, please? Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much. First of
let me just take this opportunity to thank Mr. Nindeba
Shaka gufata uyu mwanya gushimira Nindeba
for just organizing this event.
kuba yaorganizinze ino event.
Actually, we have learned a lot.
Twize ibintu byinshi.
And I also thank Pastor
ndashimira pastor
for just accepting coming here
kuba yaremeye kuza
and sharing with us her knowledge.
no kudusangiza ubumenyi bwe.
So I think all of us were now teachers of mental health.
Twese turashobora kwigisha uwundi muntu hejuru ya mental health.
Okay, let's now go back to our families, to our community.
So reka tugende mu mago yacu muri community yacu.
And just start teaching what we learn here.
Dutangire kwigisha ibyo twize uyu munsi.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. First and foremost, I want to thank God
mbere ya byose nshaka gushimira Imana
for allowing and giving us opportunity for us to have this day,
kuba yatwemereye kugira uyu munsi nk'uyu,
for having this event.
kugira ngo tugire iyi event.
Secondly, I want to thank our guest speaker, Pastor.
Nshaka gushimira
Please
umutumirwa
clap for her.
wacu
Let's clap.
Pastor.
And the guest that you brought from Dallas.
And then n'abandi batumirwa
Thank
mwazanye
you so
muvuye
much for
muri Dallas.
it shows how much you guys support us and that you guys are behind us, and thank you so
Byerekana
much.
ukuntu
In
mudushigikiye kandi
anything
muri
that we
inyuma
can
yacu.
ever do for you guys, please.
Naba hari ico dushobora
I
kubakorera
will be there in a hurry.
muzotumenyeshe.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Ngo muratumiye ku Reset 2026.
I want to thank Pastor April in the back.
Shaka gushimira Pastor April.
Pastor April, she's talking right now. We're giving you thanks. Thank you. She's was able to help us to get this space.
Yadufashije kugira ngo turonke kino kibanza.
Thank you so much for allowing to come. This is her sanctuary.
Ahangaha na ahantu ateranira.
So thank you so much for allowing us to be in your sanctuary.
So turamushimiye cyane kuba yatwemereye kuba muri iki kibanza.
I want to thank my friends who showed up today.
Shaka gushimira inshuti yanje yaje
Mado, I want to thank you, and Innocent, Ruby, Shreng is not here.
Everyone in the back, shout out.
For leading, Mado, for leading the workshop. I believe the youth wanted that to continue.
Mando yayoboye ikiganiro twagiranye n'urubyiruko hari inyuma.
They left unfinished.
Basoje bagikeneye ko ikiganiro gikomeza.
But on the next event that we're going to have, for sure, we're going to give more time, and hopefully you're going to be available to lead it and with everything that you wanted to do.
Tuzongera bino biganiro tuzobaheza umwanya uhagije.
Lastly, I want to thank the president of our community here.
Perezida wa community ya hano.
Let's give him a
Reka
hand.
tumukomere amashi.
Thank you so much for supporting us and coming here and allowing us to have this event here in Austin.
Mwakoze kudushigikira no kutwemerera ko dukora iyi event hano muri Austin.
You could have said no.
Mwari guhakana.
But you accepted us, and thank you so much.
Ariko mwaratwemereye rero turabashimiye.
And lastly, I want to thank my Kira for Action team.
Nshaka gushimira team ya Kira Action.
Thank you so much for the hard work that you do.
Mwakoze cyane ku bintu byose mukora.
And for those of you guys who want to support Cure for Action, what they do,
n'abashaka kudufasha cyangwa se gusupportinga kino gikorwa,
we have medical clinics, we have schools,
bafite amashuri, bafite n'amaclinic
that you guys can support.
Mushobora gusupporting.
We have a whole slideshow, but that's for the next time.
Hari ibintu twari dufite tubereka ariko tuzabibereka ubutaha.
But truly, every single person who attended the event, I thank you for the bottom of my heart.
Ariko umuntu wese waje kuri iyi event ndagushimiye.
But let's end this with one thing.
So reka dusoze n'iri jambo.
Mental health begins with you, with your mom, in your family.
Mental health itangurira kuri wowe, kuri famille yawe, ku babyeyi bawe.
This is not a we didn't fix the problem.
Ntago twaje hano gukemura ikibazo.
Hopefully we shine a little light of like, okay, I'm struggling and my parents also might be struggling.
Ako twaje hano kumurika ikibazo, kumurika ko ababyeyi bawe baba bafite ikibazo cyangwa
bafite ikibazo. And as we partner up with different other people,
tugiye dukorana n'abandi bantu batandukanye.
We're going to gradually solve this problem as we go.
Tuzakomeza gukemura kino kibazo.
So I will ask our parent if he can pray for us.
So ngiye gusaba ababyeyi bacu badusengere.
As we're concluding and finishing.
Kugira ngo dusoze kino giterane.
Thank you so much.
Murakoze cyane.
dusenge twese
If y'all can stand up, please.
bicara kandi bagenda bahagaze. Mana tuguha icyubahiro, turagushima yuko uri Imana nzima, uri Imana ishobora byose, uri Imana irengeye byose, uradukunda urukundo ruhebuje. Turagushima yuko wabanye natwe umunsi wa none, watugiriye neza mwami, kuba twabaye ahangaha muri ibi biganiro bidufasha muri kominote yacu, bidufasha mu mago yacu, bidufasha mu itorero ryawe rikuru no musozi n'ahandi hose. Mana turashima abo waganirije bose kutuganirira ibi biganiro. Icyo dusaba n'icyo twifuza no kugira ngo ibi biganiro twaganiriye ahangaha hagira icyo byahindura mu mago yacu, hagira icyo byahindura mu babyeyi, hagira icyo byahindura mu bana bacu, hagira icyo byahindura mu bantu bose mwami. Turasaba kugira ngo ukomeze utange ubumwe hagati mu mago yacu, utange ubumwe hagati mu babyeyi n'abana, utange ubwumvikane mwami Yesu. Data wa twese turasaba kugira ngo niho uzushoboresha abantu, ukabaha gutekereza no gukora neza. Turasaba kugira ngo byose Mana birashoboka mu izina ryawe. Tukuragije abantu bose Mana bateraniye hange bagiye gutaha, ujane nabo mu mihanda bacamwo, mu byuma bagenderamwo, ukuboko kwawe kube hejuru yabo, ubasoze mu mago yabo amahoro, basange nabo basize ari amahoro. Twiziza mu kuboko kwawe tugushima yuko byose niho biteke kandi niho bigenda byose. Turabigushimiye mu izina ryawe Yesu. Amen.
Amen. But before we conclude, let's remember also another thing I forgot to say. I know we talked about mental health today, but the goal is mental wellness, right? Mental wellness is the goal, right? We talked about how we're dealing with these issues in our daily lives and all this other stuff, but the goal is for us to get to mental wellness, right? Living positively, healthier, right? Right, in the future, all right? So be prepared for the next event to come, and thank you so much.